Hey everyone, and greetings from Tampa. It's day 92 of Walk with Winston. I'm coming to you a little later than our usual schedule. Tonight I'm doing it in the evening after work and shaking things up a little bit. So I hope that you're having a great day. I wanted to share a little bit about how our transformation really ends up being a series of small experiments. And so, taking a page out of my own situation, I was, this past week, I was trying something new with my weight loss journey. And so I've been tracking my food and tracking my exercise, and I really increased my weightlifting this past week. I had 4 awesome workouts, and yet I was trying to mix up my diet a little bit and tried some new fresh produce and fresh fruits and different things, and got on the scale this morning, and I was really disappointed with the results. Mathematically, I should have lost 3 or 4 pounds, and instead I ended up going the complete opposite direction. And what a puzzle that was for me, because you know, when you track your food, and hopefully I'm not delusional about what I'm tracking, I'm weighing and measuring and looking at the portion sizes on the containers and things like that. But I noticed that my sleep patterns weren't as restful, my stress levels were higher, my fruit intake was substantially higher, and yet my daily calories were probably too low. I even had given up caffeine last week in trying to experiment. And so what's interesting about transformations is, from my perspective, is that we're always trying and tweaking on our way to our transformation. And so rather than being discouraged about not hitting the expected total, and in fact going a little bit in the opposite direction, I woke up this morning with a renewed commitment to seeing this as an experiment. My body doesn't react in the same way as anyone else's, and neither do you. And so anything that you're trying out something new for the first time, or working towards a goal, you're going to take action, you're going to measure your results, and then you're going to adjust your actions. And so let's keep that in mind in terms of our transformational journey. That, one, whenever we have expectations, sometimes we're going to be really disappointed. Because we can't predict the outcome. We can only take the actions that we have, and we surrender the outcome. And if the outcome, and the intermediate outcome isn't what we're looking for, we look at the data, we look at our actions, and we say, hey, can I take a slightly different action? And again, measure that again and see what kind of results we get. So for me, having diabetes in my family and at a weight that is practically pre-diabetic, probably not a good idea to have as much fruit as I did last week. So that's a tweak. And the second tweak I'm introducing this week is that I'm definitely going to increase my caloric intake to something that's in the recommended range, and not just trying to cut calories down and exercise my way to almost deficit numbers, and see what happens. A lot of the advice I got last night when I was sharing kind of the results of my week was, hey, you may actually be eating too few calories, which is very contrary to what the math would say on the app, right? So math would say, hey, this is your target number for weight loss. Mathematically it works out, but hormonally and metabolism-wise, maybe I was actually slowing down my metabolism by what I was doing last week. So isn't it a grand experiment? that each day we wake up and we get to try a fresh approach. And the key for me on this particular situation is not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but making small adjustments so that I can see what one or two things is really driving the results that I'm looking for. So I would love to say that my progress in transformation's up and to the right. You know, that trajectory that just takes off and goes in a straight path. But that's not life. Life is a series of ups and downs on our overall path. And it's like I heard this story recently about how, you know, a jet airplane that leaves the west coast LA and heads towards New York, if it's off by just a few degrees, can end up 350 miles away, you know, in the mid-Atlantic, like Washington, D.C. So, course corrections. That's the best way to transformation. And how do we get course corrections? By experimenting. So let me know what you are experimenting with. If you're trying new things out and they're not quite working out the way that you hoped, what are you going to tweak in the upcoming week? That you guys have a great night. Talk to you again soon.